Cris Tales is a turn-based JRPG developed by Colombian indie game developer Dreams Incorporated and SICK. It will be released for most current-gen consoles and PC on July the 20th of 2021. We've reviewed the game ourselves on the PS5. The main character of the game is Cris. This is an orphan girl who lives in a small town of Narin, who turns out to have special time-altering powers. Together with Matthias, a talking frog, Wilhelm, who is also a time mage, and a warrior named Christopher, a long journey across the land begins. As the story unfolds, you will learn everything there is to know about the strange world the adventure takes place in. The most notable aspect of the game is that you can alter time in and out of combat. During combat, you can, for example, use these powers to poison an enemy and then advance the time so that all added poison effects hit the enemy all at once. Outside of combat, the screen is split into 3 triangular sections. The center shows present time, the past on the left, and the future is on the right. Matthias the frog can jump to the past and future to perform actions there that will affect the present. As you will get further in the game, you will also get other time-altering powers as well. The way the present, past and future incorporated into one game screen is very nicely done, and in some actions you can directly see what effects your choices in present have on the future. Another thing that you directly notice is the art style of Cris Tales. The game is entirely drawn by hand in 2D and gives a truly unique feeling to the gaming experience. There are so many games out there, but not many have a unique feel to it like Cris Tales does. The colors and style of every game aspect is something that I applaud for, as nowadays not a lot of game developers dare to try something new. The good thing is that it not only looks good, but plays good as well. Anyone who has played a JRPG before knows beforehand what they're getting into in terms of combat. The player and the enemy take turns attacking each other, and in the top of the screen you can see whose turn it will be next. The basics from the JRPG combat system stay the same, with the exception of time manipulation, which gives a welcoming twist to the genre, which pushes you to think about more strategic ways to defeat enemies. Another fun twist is that when you're defending, you need to hit a button at the moment that enemy attacks to parry their attack to receive less damage. And on the attacking side, you need to hit the button at the moment your attack hits to give the enemy additional damage. These are, in my opinion, fun tweaks to make slow movement of combat of JRPGs a little bit more engaging. When you first get introduced to combat, I found it quite difficult to win battles, and it felt like the game was maybe too difficult. But once you get the healing skill with Cris, the game becomes much easier. You unlock new skills by leveling up characters through combat. Therefore, I usually explore the entire combat area, as it would never be underpowered to the enemies at hand. Healing before battles is recommended if needed, and can be done with skills and potions as well during battles. You can also strengthen your characters a bit using equipment such as bracers, rings, boots, etc. The best of this equipment can be found in chests throughout the game, so it pays off to wander around in the game world. You can also upgrade your weapons through a weapon shop and add up to 3 bonuses to the weapon through additional equipment. All these upgrades are only for stat increases and don't alter the aesthetics of your characters. The story itself is mostly being told through spoken and unspoken dialogues and a few cutscenes. One thing I can't really understand though is that sometimes the written text is different than the lines that are spoken, and that for some reason some text is not spoken at all. It didn't bother me, but it felt a little bit weird, and that's all since most of the game dialogues are spoken. Overall, I enjoyed the story and didn't feel the developers added more dialogues to fill up the story to make it longer than was needed. Sound effects and music are good enough for this style of game. Most of the voice acting is good, although for some reason the volume randomly increases and decreases during conversations at times. The music itself is calming out of combat and a little bit more upbeat during. This works perfectly for the game. I've completed the entire game without encountering any bug at all but one, where the gameplay area was a little bit messed up. This was a little bit weird but not disturbing for my game session. I've never been stuck somewhere, and since the game is 2D-ish, you will never encounter any camera problems. So, well, should you pick up this game? For fans of JRPGs, I can only recommend it. but for those of you who don't like it or are not yet familiar with the genre, I find it difficult to give an opinion. If you have trouble deciding, check out any of the walkthrough videos that are around that give you an idea of the pace of the game, and so you have an idea of how the combat system works. Also, if strategy is your thing, the combat system might be something you like. For me personally, I would rate the game between a 7.5 or an 8. Considering the price it's being sold for, the unique graphic style and the time you can pass, for the low price, I consider Cris Tales a great deal. Thanks for taking the time to look at our review. We have bought Cris Tales ourselves and we're not paid by the developer or publisher to give our opinion in any way. If you like this review, please leave a comment, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. For now, peace out and game on as always.